This is my first YouTube live, so welcome. If you have any question, I don't know. I don't know how this works. How does this work? Do you, Joel? Hi, I've seen you online. Thanks. I don't know how can see we are six now. Yeah. So if you have any question on the topic which I've been talking about so very much, called boomers, Arnold Jenga. Hi. Karibu to the live. I'm trying to see whether I can be doing more lives on YouTube. I want to concentrate on YouTube because I think there's potential there. TikTok, there's too much censorship. Yeah. So if you have any question, you can just post it down there. Dikim, hi. Charles Musina, thanks for the encouragement. There are some tools which I've recently signed on YouTube about membership, and something I want to try and see whether I can monetize. So I want to now, this month I have to push long form content, maybe for members only. Like I can do a 1 hour discussion on a topic. So, but that will be available for members, or subscribers. Yeah, because we have to, at the end of the day, we have to get paid. We are, in as much as we are doing the Lord's work, we can still try and balance it so that I don't run out of electricity or data. So Charles Musina, I hope you're going to be one of my subscribers. Kimutai Dennis, your football is dead. If it only exists in the Githeri media, newspaper, whatever. That's where it exists. But on the ground, Kuf dead. Kuf dead. Hmm. If there is any problem with my sound, you tell me. Mm. Blessed, thanks for following me from Houston. Really appreciate. Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out how to escalate my content, but at the for subscribers, for live. Dikim, which formula did I use to determine boomers? It's not really a formula. There's there's the one that everyone knows because they've been, I don't know, from 19 year to what. So it's not me who came up with the formula. What I've done is I've just rounded it off to the nearest zero. So instead of saying between 1944 and 1964, just say 1940 to 70, because plus or minus 5, that works. Francis Donga, thank you. Yeah. Are you guys sharing my live? Are you sharing it to your friends or to your networks, so that we can be more? Yeah, I don't know which days I'll be going live. You can tell me which times are, when is it the best is the best time, during the day or during the evening? I'm still not too sure. Today is my very first YouTube live. Hmm. Yeah, is the sound okay? YouTube is a very slow platform as compared to TikTok. Even the views I get on TikTok in a month, I could get, at my peak on TikTok, I could get like 4 million, views per month. So I don't know why YouTube is normally very slow, very, very slow. Yeah. So we are talking about boomers, most pathetic generation, especially from the Kenyan context. They were given so much, but have left us with nothing other than churches. We've built so many churches, from God knows what. I don't know whether we'll be able to cash them in or convert them to hospitals at some point. Yeah. Uh, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Okay, let's see that. Let's see how that will work. Joel Henry with talks between UDA and Azimio. What can you expect? Nothing. Please don't hold your, hopes. Just, just know that now we just entertain these guys until we can be able to kick them out in 2027. Without being obsessed about the presidency, because I don't know how the collective, for the country is channeled towards just the presidency. You focus on electing good people in the other positions and let the presidency resolve itself. Our shilling is weakening. We have an ailing economy. We have a rogue government with very incompetent. Is there any hope for Kenya? No. There is only hope when the young people stop being controlled, micromanaged by the older generation, and you can have conversations on your own. Anytime young people talk, doesn't necessarily have to be about entertainment. I don't know what can be about preparation. I was watching a video right now of Akina Orengo and whatever, and they started their activism in their 20s. As you know, in our 20s, I don't know, we've been told that politics is not our forte. So anyone telling you that is just trying to make politics unattractive so that they can remain in power. So you have a you have a sacred duty, constitutional duty to take an interest in your politics. Friday is good for diaspora. Friday night, Kenya. Audio is good. I think once you set up a concrete time, several people will join. Okay. Um, do you think Kenya's electorate age should be increased to 26? Um, Most of the young kids are controlled by boomers. No, no, not really. They just didn't know that their voice matters because I think I think everyone has a everyone just needs young people during election and afterwards then they pass laws which are detrimental to them. So if we maintain the consistency as regards to civic education, onboarding everyone, we no don't leave anyone behind, and then we need to get young people away from churches because the churches have been compromised. They are extensions of the corrupt regimes. So as long as they are not listening to pastors, as long as they are not listening to parents, grandparents, uncles, aunties, and they're talking amongst themselves, then I think that's some progress. Do you think the problem with our country is democracy, or is it we're still not ready? No, 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 no. There's no problem with the system. It's the people. It's the people and the electorate. The system can work. Is not the concept of democracy that is creating bad governance. It's the people. So there is nothing wrong with democracy. Nobody should ever convince you that being democratic is is a liability to your life, to your government, to your civic duty. No, no, no. Never be convinced that you should be in a dictatorship because they try to portray somebody like Paul Kagame that he's a dictator or his country is doing well. He's not doing well. He's an asshole. So he's somebody who should not be emulated by anyone. So yeah, so let's democracy. There's nothing wrong with the system. It's the people. Get rid of the people, not the system. Um, have you ever gotten into serious threats from political boomers? I get threats all the time. Hmm. Emmanuel Kuto. There was a guy called Chris Kuto. He used to be the chairman of was it Directorate of Civil Aviation? Uh, back in the day. So this is please. I have very good content on this. First of all, the YouTube. So I think the best thing you can do is share. I want to have many subscribers on YouTube, and it's growing very slowly. I'm barely 5,300. So if you want me, if you want to motivate me to, continue being consistent, then I need more subscribers on YouTube. How, if you have any idea how I can get those subscribers. In the meantime, I don't mind if you share the link, in your WhatsApp groups and in whatever, so that we can boost the numbers. Kidogo. KK cannot go for 2 terms. Jacob, KK cannot go for 2 terms. Spinking Ladu, watching from Mombasa, big up. The Mombasa Stadium haijafanyiwa kazi for years yet. Buxton waligrab, hata iko almost done. Boomers are pathetic. What did they grab in Buxton? Buxton. I was in Mombasa when in June, and you see the way I've been talking about boomers. You can relate. You can relate to how they come to lectures, yet they've grabbed all the resources that could have been occupying us. They come to say, oh, vijana wanapenda sherehe, wanapenda pombe, bangi. That's all they talk about. Yet they are not willing to take responsibility for embezzling, for grabbing, for undermining anything that can help young people. Mhm. These are the old bastards who I want you to do away with. You shouldn't be talking with them. You shouldn't be listening to old men who are telling you ati kujeni mkae chini ni advice. They have nothing to advise us, really. Hata akuwe na pesa aje. You see, the problem has been that young people have been worshipping money. And so you think that somebody who has money then deserves your audience, your ears. No, 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 no. The first thing, if somebody cannot explain how they got X amount of money, if they cannot tell you what, and when I talk about wealth creation, I don't mean that you are an importer, you own a supermarket, you import stuff, and then you because of your importation you have led to create to the death of local industries, local juakali, local manufacturing. So those are not the people that you should be praising, you should be worshiping. Yeah. So tell me more about that, Buxton. Jacob, do you think KK, watching you from Las Vegas, I like your content discussion. I feel KK will rig. For it's impossible for KK to rig 8 million to 12 million votes. So if 8 million Kenyans boycotted the last election, if 4 million Kenyans boycotted even registering to vote, so 12 million Kenyans did not take part in the elections. Now, if you take your civic duty, with precision, if you take it with interest, if you make sure that you're supporting the right candidates, you're voting for them, and then after you're also supporting their campaigns, and then you're volunteering on the election day so that you can be the agents, because most of the corruption happens during at the polling station. So the thing is, don't vote and then go to sleep. Once you finish voting, you go back to the polling station, you volunteer to be the agents of your preferred candidates, be it the MCA from the lowest to the highest. It's as simple as that. I mean, everyone thought that Uhuru had the system and the deep state and what, and he would rig the election. No, when people are tired of you, because even the people of Uasin Gishu are tired of Ruto, because he's been on the fence ever since this Mandago story of Finland. So when people decide, they've decided. Nobody can defend or save you. Yeah. So at least, if you have that confidence in your head, then you'll be better placed to talk to your peers and encourage them to take an interest in politics. Uh, there are new flats that were built around that area in Mombasa County, Buxton. Ah, uh, thanks for highlighting, because then I can mention it in my next videos. Joel, did you watch my video, the one I was talking about Moha Jichopevu? I think it went very viral in Mombasa. And the road, where we talk Bombolulu, they are near the petrol station. They've left it like that. Did they ever fix it, by the way? Hmm. So yeah, I think we have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to catch up on regarding governance, regarding these are conversations that your parents did not have. They were busy dancing and worshiping and drinking busa and changa when after independence. eh? And then the resources continued getting smaller, and then now they escalated their corruption. They were still praising Moi. They never even poked holes into the education system that Moi was launching at the time. They were just herded like goats to the slaughter. We don't want to be a useless generation like boomers. I don't know whether do you confront your parents? Do you tell them that they are boomers and they've wasted us? They have depleted the resources and the tools that are supposed to help future generations. You see, Joel is telling us about Buxton grounds. They were built there. They've grabbed the public spaces, the green spaces, the parks, eh? Stadiums, Nyayo Stadium, Kasarani. They closed for like 5 years, not done anything even after being closed for that long. And who has stolen the money is Akina Moses Kuria. Yeah, so it's a concerted effort. Everyone is a joint venture. Everyone has to be on board in civic education. You have to now tell your friends that now we are not getting voting advice from the old boomers, from the stupid women. It's difficult for you to confront the reality that your parents are stupid. Some of them in your minds, they could be very successful in the businesses that they've done, but collectively as a generation, they have really wasted us. And so, when it comes to collective responsibility, none is better than the other. All of them will be bulked as boomers who have wasted our generations. And even now, they are not even making an effort even to groom new generations and new people. They still want, like now, the young people of the Kenya Kwisha, them, their work is just tweeting and running hashtags. They believe that you should be there, and them, they should be in the middle, doing what we are supposed to be doing. Yeah. Yeah, Charles Musina is saying, I think what most Kenyans lack is civic education, voting on tribal lines, handouts in exchange. You end up voting for the wrong people to represent us. You see, tribalism is an elitist construct. They have created this tribalism tag and identity because they want you to remain stuck in your uh, ethnic cocoons, if you can call them. They want you to remain stuck there, so they have to cook narratives every 5 years. But if tribalism did not, if one community was behind your walls, then devolution, which has devolved 4 trillion shillings, could have dispelled such a narrative, such a myth, because uh, the corruption in Makueni is the same corruption in Mombasa, is the same corruption in Kilifi, in Lamu, in Mount Kenya, in Rift Valley, in Western, in Nyanza. There is no new referral hospital that has been built anywhere. There is no new major roads. There is no new projects. There is nothing despite us devolving all that money. In Northeastern is worse. Yeah. And the Northeastern now, because them, they could have had, I think, access to 2 trillion shillings. In Northeastern, because those are shithole counties, they don't do streetlights, they don't do roads, they don't do garbage, they don't do water. They are people, it's almost like living like animals. In fact, Mandera, they are saying 60% is under Al Shabaab. So you if now they used to say that, oh, blah blah blah, the people who have stolen, the people from this community and that community, what have they done? Nothing. They can't show you anything. So you need to remove the tribal lenses, and understand that you're dealing with a corporate, with a generational elite, who are corrupt beyond measure. Yeah, and they are ready to see us fight amongst each other, especially the young people, just so that they can continue appropriating your opportunities, and taking money. Today I was talking about sugar and why sugar is dead, because those people from those northeastern region, they are so awash with money, and they import their sugar from Kisimayu, so they don't pay tax. They are awash with money, and at the expense of who? Of our sugar farmers, sugarcane farmers in the western belt. Yeah. So you have to understand that we are the architects of our own misfortune, but we have the responsibility to get ourselves out of this mess. Mhm. Religious leaders are, the most corrupt, if you ask me. They have been able to capture generation after generation, telling them, preaching to them about imaginary heavens are there. In the meantime, during the same period, Dubai have moved from being a desert to an utopia. They've built their own augmented reality. Hmm? They've created a utopic environment for themselves. And as here, the religious people have been telling you, once you die, that's you're going to get better, a better scenario in heaven. So religious leaders are also very toxic. I hope none of you here is a religious fanatic. Mm, it would be a shame that you'd go to school for all those years and then you're still listening to your pastor advising you how to run your family, how to run your financial affairs. Yeah. Emmanuel Puto. I begin to believe that boomers despite seeing young people happy. When I witnessed an elderly man facing off a piece of land because kids were using it. Yes, you remember that story. Hmm? There was a, forget even that one. There was, now you have that old man, but there was an issue in Kilimani where somebody fenced off a children's playground. That's the contempt that boomers have. Hmm? I remember Robert Alai was chasing that story. It was a neighborhood community, but just because kids were playing, hey, he had to come and fence it off. That's boomers. Yeah, these are your parents, your grandparents. Do you tell them, because every morning I use my platform to tell boomers that they're stupid. They are feeling the heat, they're feeling the pressure. So the only thing I can do is escalate. Will you guys join me? You can only join me. You can only be part of the cause. You cannot be on the fence. This is a battle of our lives. These guys, if we don't get rid of them, if we don't expunge their mentality from our collective conscience, we are going to have another generation of wasted talent, wasted lives. They've already wasted us. We are not churning out good sportsmen and women because they've grabbed all the resources. The only people who are thriving are athletes, the runners in Mount Kenya. Because of what? Because they don't run on any government facility. Then they just wake up and run on the road. They don't run on any. Can you imagine if now we just invested in them just a little bit? Kenya would be producing the breaking records everywhere. These guys, their only training ground is when they are running to school. If you listen to all those Kalenjin runners, they'll tell you, "Mi nilianza kukimbia when I was running to school." Can you imagine now if we had a strategic intervention to train sportsmen and women in Kenya? We would dominate the whole world. But can you tell these to these old bastards? They can't listen. Then they want to build flats, wanataka kuiba mashamba, the playground, so that they can build flats. Hiyo ndio, that's their highest aspiration, nimejenga flats. Mm. So let's join hands. I'll be very keen on the YouTube lives, especially if you promise me you're going to follow back. You're going to have you guys wajenge malls na kanisa? Yeah, you go. K Walker. So are you guys following me? So I need you to follow me. I need you to share my YouTube. If you can get me, Fifth Kipyegon is training outside the country. Mhm. Hivi ndio mambo iko bana. Hivi ndivyo mambo yalivyo. So if you could like, what can I say, promise me the eyeballs, then I will use YouTube more. Mhm. So I have 4 minutes. I have 3 minutes because I wanted to do 30 minutes today. If you have any question, feel free to shoot. Those guys in diaspora, bana, make sure this. By the way, I have the whatever, the guys who are in diaspora, guys who was Vegas, Houston, whoever. I have introduced members packs, and a donation button. I hope you see it there, so that you can rusha me something occasionally. So this is I want to capitalize on this, because I want to see whether I can allocate more time, but I can only allocate more time if X, Y, and Z. If it's making some economic sense, we can continue making this our platform for civic education, for liberation, mental liberation. We are, but even with the list that I've done, within the last 1 year, I believe we've made progress. Yeah, I believe I believe we are making progress slow by slow. I believe we won't be heading to the next election, with naivety. We won't be going like dandas, yeah. So everyone is alert, everyone is keen, and I think the finance bill of this year has been an unprecedented success as regards to the conversation and how it became, expanded to everyone, because they started taxing content creators. So we onboarded very many people into the conversation. So a lot of things, there are negatives and then there are positives. So we take the positives and then we move. So instead of lamenting, we take positives and we say, now we have young people, taking an interest in politics. So politics is not just about what. So we have less people dependent on pastors and either media journalists for your daily political dose. You have so many other people who are discussing politics, and it's not just me. There are people who are talking, mobilizing wherever. So the ours, I would want it to be a ballot revolution as opposed to military one, because I don't know whether we can, sustain the disruption. But as long as people arm themselves with the votes, when the time comes for somebody to leave, there is nothing that can stop. Even more, nobody thought he would leave. Everyone thought he had an extra card on the table. No, it was time for him to go. So in 2027, if it's time for people to go, they will go. Yeah. So thank you to those of you who have tuned in today. I think we had hit some, something like 2023. Spinking, thank you. So let's see how many there will be tomorrow. Tomorrow I can come earlier, do a 30 minutes. We could start doing 30 minutes lives for 3-4 times a week. So we see, as long as keep sharing the link, keep sharing the content, keep growing the numbers. Bus, we target. I don't know whether this can we do September. If I promise to do 3 lives a week, will you be sharing the link? And can we get to 10,000 subscribers by September? Mnaona kama mnaweza fanya hivyo? Hmm? But you have to promise me that you're sharing the link. Mm. Otherwise, Dikim, thanks for the thanks for the $2. Enough respect. Mm. Enough respect. So yeah, we keep on. I'll try and do 30 minutes 3 times a week. Okay. Yeah, you can. Yeah. So and I want YouTube now. I don't want, TikTok is a bit tiring. I want to concentrate on YouTube. So tukue hapo. So okay, tomorrow let me try 9 p.m. and see whether there'll be more people. Hey Jacob, cheers bro. Thanks for the contribution. Mhm. Thanks for the contribution. So let's see what can happen tomorrow. Okay. Cheers, guys. Let me shoot another video, which I have to shoot like a 10-minute video for tomorrow. That's how I space my content, so that at least I do 5 videos a day of 10 minutes each. But now I want to use YouTube so that I can talk for 30 minutes, 1 hour, talk about various topics. It will happen. It will happen. So asanteni to the contributors, the ones who are watching. If you can contribute, make sure you share the link in all your WhatsApp groups and Facebook and whatever. And uh, I want to see whether we can hit 10,000 subscribers in September. If we hit 10,000 subscribers, then I'll be doing now a video. Now I'll escalate and make it even bigger. Sawa sawa, my guys. Cheers and good night, man.